Hmm. This is not what I thought. It's not working for me. It's just not working for me. Go to right here, Bo. Okay. Um, Hello, do we have audio now? Do I have audio? I know. Hang on. Trying to do something. I'm just not getting. There we go. There we go. I got it now. Now I have it. Hang on. Control V. All right. There we go. Now we have it. Cooking with gas. Judy, 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 Judy. Yes, we have audio. Okay. Well, I just tried to do this, do a StreamYard, and because I'm using different software everywhere, it did not work for me. No, it did not. Sam, I am. Actually, Scotty, I am. Yeah, yeah. I just StreamYard stuff. I don't know what's going on here, but because I'm using this silly Streamlabs desktop, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to learn how to put stream. Obviously, I've got YouTube in here, but I don't have. Maybe I should put more of my head in the picture and less of my roof. There we go. So I don't know. It's more than I can think. You're killing me. It's later than normal. I know. I'm sorry. Friday night. Hey, by the way, on my last, when I was on there with the guys, was I too loud? I have no idea. I put my gain up pretty high on my mic, and I didn't know. I mean, I can put the gain up higher, but yeah. Oh boy, oh boy. There'll be more videos tomorrow. Today I was reading how to use Adobe Photoshop Elements 21 to make a thumbnail. I'm trying to make better thumbnails for my videos. I don't know if I'm achieving it, but I'm definitely trying to make it. Oh, good, good. Maybe they have software that equalizes and normalizes it. Something like a filter or gates to ensure it didn't get too low or too high. I don't know. I'm using a Stream Deck mic. I've decided to go with the whole Stream Deck, Stream Labs product suite, and so there we go. But it is late. It is 11 o'clock at night, so I don't think I'll keep this on for too long. I just thought I would try, and it failed, and then I almost boogered up what I have here, and that was not going to be bueno for me. I would be very upset about that. Yeah, my streaming software is Streamlabs, and so I'm going to have to figure out how I mate the two together so we don't end up in Wrongsville. Or I'm gonna have to figure out how Streamlab. Maybe I can do it in Streamlabs, and I don't have to use StreamYard. But I think that'd be more difficult. Higher on your end as I listen to lots of videos on the go and my phone. Yeah, I know, I get it, I get it. On my short videos, I have to be cognizant of. Today I did a quick short. I got a strike. Can't believe I got a strike. It wasn't a copyright strike, but it was a strike nonetheless because I picked some song of "You're Invincible," whatever that means. But I was talking about my bike ride, and after I put up that short, I ended up having a English as a second language a strike. Yeah, right there. I don't know if you can see it. I'll put it right there. It's like this. So if I get to the camera, it has a little yellow thing right there. You can see that second one, bicycle sprint hashtag carnivore. I got a strike, and it says the song wasn't allowed to be played in Russia. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Miss Natalie. I appreciate that. But so I don't think that's not going to do very well, that one. But hey, what are you gonna do? You know, you just put it up. Now I have to party. and then and then I had the gall and the audacity to bring up Christian topics here in my 30-day video, but I don't think I should have. I don't think it, I'm not going to worry about it, but I don't think that I should have offended too many people with that entry there. But anyway, how y'all been doing today? Everybody doing well today? Everybody getting things done? Yep. Shooting, Natalie. Yep, here we go. Um, it's getting later and later in the evening here, and I took a nap today. Who here is into naps? Because El Skataki, I sure am. I never saw a nap I was afraid to take, honestly. Let's see what we can do here about the brightness. We'll take the brightness down a little bit. There we go. I got one of those Elgato face cams. Yep, and yeah, there we go. It's been a great day here. Good. I'm glad it has been. And so I know for me, I did my daily reading, and I like to do my daily reading and try to get it done in the morning. But sometimes things get in the way, and it becomes an afternoon reading. Either way, I get it done, and then had some food, and it was good. Yep, it's been a good day. Got a chance to drive around with the missus, and just got some things done for the car. We planned a trip. We're gonna go see the grandchildren next weekend, and so I'll probably do a number of shorts, and I'll check in. But when I'm on my phone, I can't do much interaction. For some reason, the putting the at in someone's name doesn't really show up in my phone, so I do what I can, you know. But yeah, we'll go see the grandkids. They live up by Cincinnati. And so we're gonna go up there, and it turns out we're gonna be doing some rafting. Yeah, it's late. People probably doing things, probably got things to do with the kids tomorrow, or maybe they just take Friday nights off. Yeah, Friday nights. Okay. Not like they used to be, but Saturday mornings sure are a lot better these days. So in my other channel, Scotty P channel, I hope you all don't mind. I didn't use any names, but I did take poetic license, if you would, to add prayers for all of us. You know, particularly for everybody in the carnivore way of life, because oftentimes when we're lifting up prayers, we tend to lift up prayers for people who are infirmed with illnesses that are pretty significant. Then I got to thinking, you know, all of us can use prayers, and I know that last night, you know, we were talking about Bethany and talking about Holly, that we could lift up prayers for them too, because they're being impacted by everything. So yeah, nope, that's what our mission here is, right? We're supposed to lift each other up. We're supposed to be accountable to one another, and we're supposed to come alongside one another, and that's how you do it. And I think it's good if you do something consistently throughout all the aspects of your life. I think it's important. A 3 or 4 hour, and then usually I'll wait for a couple hours, and then sort of like, yeah. Naps are great. I love naps. I remember when I was a kid, my parents used to make us take a nap, mainly mom, and we took a nap every day. And I remember when my little sister wouldn't take a nap, I'd volunteer. Oh, well, she'd tell us, all you boys, me and my two brothers and I, we'd have to go take a nap, a play nap, you know. and we'd all go take a nap, and then my little sister would take one. Well, I'd stay asleep, and then my little sister would wake up, and eventually my mom would have to come in and say, "Scott, Scott, get up." So when I was an older teenager, I was about 16. Okay, Susan, we got that. When I was about 16, my mom and dad farmed me out to work for her dad, my grandfather. And he was a workaholic, and he came through the Depression era, and he lived in a little town called Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. So I would I would get bundled up there, and they'd drop me off for a week or so, and he would work me like a rented mule. Anyway, my mom told me, "Hey, your grandpa, he likes to take a nap every day after lunch." And so every day after lunch, Grandpa and everybody would go to their separate corners, and I'd go out to the couch. Well, the first day, I went to go lay down, and the next thing I know, he's waking me up saying, "Get up, boy, get up." And yeah, I'll take a nap in a minute. Yeah, you're right about that, Natalie. We are sorry, Susan, and I hope that your your journey in carnivore way of life inspires her. Have you seen the channel Sophie Eats Steak? Um, I saw her on Homestead How's channel and read about her and went to her page and watched her videos and tried to support her. And she um, is or was an anorexic. And um, while in her anorexia and getting treated for it, um, her mother either stumbled upon for herself or for whatever purpose had stumbled upon the carnivore way of life, and she started it and brought her daughter to get on board with that. So that was really a good thing. And Sophie Eats Steak is doing well, putting on weight, and just remarkable. And she's just like 16. It's an amazing courage. Oh, yep, that's right. It's a 10-hour live. That's right. Okay, yeah, Susan, that's exactly where I am. I watched a few of hers, and her mom does some with her, and her mom's in the room a lot of times, I think. And I've never been a girl. I never played one, but I've been around enough of them. I had a sister, and I had a daughter, and married to a wife, and I know that women are extraordinarily more complicated in many ways. I'm not going to say men aren't complex, but we're not complicated. And as such, I have a basic understanding, but for a 16-year-old young lady to get in front of the camera in the world, that's truly amazing. Truly amazing. So hopefully, by your doing, um, what you're doing, Susan, hopefully your daughter will be inspired and say, I can do that. And maybe she can watch Bill Knott, and she can go watch, is it the, is it Carnivore Minimalist or Sean and some other people out there who have walked the walk instead of just talking the talk? That'd be cool. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Always pray it up. Pray it up. Yeah, Sean White. Yeah, absolutely. We do push them away. There are a lot of reasons, and most everybody knows them. Eh, But a caveat is, I think, in order here. I heard someone else talking about it. Our society has gotten a lot of girly men, a lot of men who are emasculated, but aren't very, well, what we call typical roles. And someone was asking a young lady who was very much about this whole new man thing, right? And they asked her, okay, yeah, but when a bad guy jumps out with a knife, do you want your man getting behind you or in front of you? She's like, in front of me. Then don't complain about toxic masculinity. I mean, The stupid stuff is stupid stuff. All the stuff you saw in Mad Men and all that horrible things. I don't even watch the series. I just saw snippets. But misogyny is never right. But misogyny and a proper man are as far apart as you can be. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just had a lady at a church talk to me. I not run, I spearheaded and I pretty much, put all the work in for men's fellowship breakfast on Sunday mornings at my church. And I gotta get up in the early in the morning and do the things you need to do. It's not, I don't cook it up. I go and I buy it. But I've been doing it for about a year and a half now, and I want to include more people in it. And so it's kind of been a pilot run, a test run, and it's working. So one of the ladies asked me about doing a thing called Man Church, and she opened up to tell me she's newly married and 40 years old, first marriage. She waited for the right guy. The right guy came along, as he does, and he's 40 something years old as well. And she told me he doesn't have any background in how a godly man in a marriage works. He doesn't have a model to work against. And so she thinks this gentleman who had the Rick and Bubba show, Rick Burgess, he does this man church thing where you have a kickoff and all these little groups and people learn. And I'm not a big fan of starting a lot of study groups, those type of things. I'm big about fellowship. I think people need to fellowship. So someone else will have to do the man church. I don't think I'm gonna do it. To get my glasses on to read text. All right. Oh, the world has been turned on its head. It has. I'm going to industry stuff waiting for her to ask me. Yeah, that's right. That's the way to do it. That's timing. Timing is everything. Right? Natalie just hit it, right? Well, that's a good thing though, Susan, that she's been doing the keto. Because by doing the keto, she'll have less of the quote unquote keto flu when she goes full carnivore. Yeah, that's right. And I really think uh, Bill Knott could provide some significant impetus and support. Yep, yep, that's right. So I think that that's why these videos and these channels are really good. My wife is she's an artist, as you can tell. She's definitely an artist, but she is not a person who has a high quotient or index for socialization. She doesn't understand this thing that we do, yeah. And um, she was asking, and I said, "Well, this kind of works for us, kind of like art does for you." And she kind of gets it, but not really. But it's okay. She's not bashing me or anything like that. But uh, she was like, hey, are these people, just living their lives looking at YouTubes? And I love. Are people looking at Blue Bloods or Yellowstone or anything else? I mean, we're going to look at something when we're not real busy, right? Yep. Um, Not right now. I don't think she will right now. She did. She'd come in before, and she'll come in. She'll say hi, but she'll warm up. And if I keep losing weight, and she's getting pretty much to being keto right now. She's very independent, and she's not buying into it right now. And she supports me, like she got the meat out. She cooks meat. Yesterday, she cooked up a bunch of chicken thighs for me. So she'll cook up things, and when we went out to go eat, she said, we got to find a restaurant where you can get what you want. And so I I'm blessed that way, but she is still um, under the influence of carbs, and she will find that if she doesn't eat every 4 to 5 hours, she gets a headache. And then I don't need to eat like this morning. Like I said, I had 3 eggs and third of a pound of hamburger, a little bit more, plus the drippings, right? And then 3 hours later, she's wanting. 4 hours later, she's needing to eat. So we find a place. I'm like, I'm not real hungry, but I went ahead and had a couple hamburger patties so I can join her. That's a challenge. Keto carnivore 2 months ago. Yep, 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 yep. Less and less. Have you got her on bone broth yet or butter? She might like that too. Yeah. Yep, longer between meals. And see, I think that's the beauty of what going keto has done for me. Um, when I was heavily into keto and then went to carnivore 2 years ago, maybe I could fast for 5 days. So at the end of 5 days, I didn't want to fast anymore because I needed to keep my mental acuity up and my physical ability up. I fly a desk, but I still need to keep up with it, and it was getting a little tough. So, but to go a day without food is not a problem for me. But I have a binge eating issue. I'd go by the local hamburger joint. I'd get two large chocolate shakes. I'd get one, drive around for a while, go get another, and take it to wherever I was going, and things like that. So that didn't do well. So here we go, 30 days. Today was 30, or today actually might be day 31. Let me see for sure here. Today is day doodly doodly doodly. Yeah, today is day 30, and I've also been able to keep myself really clean from everything I shouldn't do, except do a little coffee, and I do like my saccharin in there, but just a little bit. I'm gonna go off that coffee, just not yet. Yep, that's the way to go. That is the way to go. I'm telling you, I think if we do this in ourselves and in our families, that this will be a process that is evangelized by us walking around as the testament to how it works. Yep. Oh, absolutely. Definitely on my prayer list. It's written down right here. And like I said, always do that. Yeah, got to do the steps that works. But now today, I don't know if you all saw, I put up my bicycle short, and I got a comment on it. Well, the first comment was, "Dude, that's not going to do you any good. Doing a mile and a half, that's not going to get it done." I was like, I don't disagree with you, but that's all this body's doing today. And my legs are hurting, and my shoulders, and my neck, and my back, and they're all bad. And so I got to know not to overdo it and overextend. So I let him know. He came back with a really good response, talking about his journey and how he'd gone from well over 300 pounds down into 270s. I'm good. I applaud the guy, you know what I mean? But I tell you what, um, that mile and a half on my bike, that was we went up to a little cul-de-sac and we went down around and through a little church parking lot and around that's right by near the house and another street up and down and back up and down and back to the house and I was done. Poop, done, nothing more. I burnt every bit of glycogen in my muscles. And I know my liver was working overtime. I came home. I ended up taking a nap in my rocking chair there. Yes, I did. That's why I can be up this late. Well, well done for one day. Tomorrow is the next day, and I got to do something else. So tomorrow I'm gonna try to do some swimming. And if I in our pool, it's not really big, but nice enough to soak and do. But for exercise, it's a challenge. But um, I'll try to swim a bunch of laps and get my muscles moving again, and see if we can't continue to get more motion with the body and better food and fuel for the body. We'll see what happens. Oh, Okay, so negative can get me, but my worst enemy is my own self. I do fight a little anxiety, depression things from some stuff in the military, and well, that's just the way it is. And normally I can curb it. I don't need medication. They gave me medications, and I did not like them. I find that if I just keep moving, if I do things, and that's why I have a hundred different hobbies. Oh, not 100, maybe 20, but lots of different things I do, so I can always pick up something and do something. Right? So yeah, haters I can kind of ignore. Um, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have impact, but I can always, I can just reach over and I can grab some scripture. I can get on my phone for some scripture. I can do a lot of things, but the challenge is to recognize going into, right, when you start to get into a, a funky mood, realizing it and going, whoa, wait a minute, do I really want this? No. What am I going to do? What are my processes? And then you do it. And for me, I think it's oh yeah, that's right. And he'll whisper, he'll chirp in your ear, won't he? Oh man, the Satan likes to chirp in your ear. But what I contend, and I subscribe to the fact that if I get moving, that normally helps. And uh, I was commenting, that this YouTube stuff can get depressing. There's a young, not a young lady, but the lady in my video I called out today, and she has MS, and she was commenting and saying something to the tune that I think her name is Carrie. I don't have it right there now. Her name is Carrie, and she was like, "Why am I not getting views on my channel?" And I was like, "Well, there's a lot of people out here doing it now. 5 years ago, you could find 4 or 5 people. You could find, the Kevin Bacon of Carnivore, Dr. Barry, right? You could find some of the people from the Keto verse, the low carb down under and stuff, talking about Dr. Sean Baker. You weren't going to find a bunch of people. Well, now there's so many and proliferating, and we're vying for time. And I said, that's one thing too. We're not doing this to get the likes and the views more than we are to be accountable. We got to make sure we have that horse, that cart right. I'm doing it because I want to get healthy. I'm doing it because other people depend on me and I depend on them. So, what's your focus? It's very easy to get caught up in that. They are very powerful. That's right. Yeah. You know, God spoke creation into being, right? And our thoughts are the beginning of words. And so we have to be very careful about our thoughts because it says, remember, they were talking about adultery, and he said, verily, you've already committed adultery in your mind. I know there are other folks that will say you'll think it first, and you'll say it, and then you'll do it. And we have to be very, very, very careful of what we're doing. And it is so easy for most of us to get carried away in the moment, in a passion, in an egotistical type of way of wanting to be liked or heard, acknowledged, be important, and say something that is harmful. Absolutely. Well, I would hope so, and if I grow and I can make a buck 250 out of this, that'd be awesome. I won't lie to you, that would be great. But if I can go from being 316 pounds down to under 250, that would be way above and beyond what I can get from what YouTube sends me. Imperfect. That's right. We're imperfect, and we try to polish that stone day in and day out, but I catch myself even in my prayers with my mind maybe wandering, my mind considering something completely off topic, and I'm like, yep, there I go with my inward eyeballs. My wife and I were talking about that yesterday, and we came up with an image, an example. You know, if you've ever had to go to any kind of therapy, and I have, and they talk about your life being a pie, and you only have so many slices to the pie. You can have a lot of little slices, you can have a few big slices, but your pie is sliced up. The things that you find are important. How much time you're, yeah, you gotta keep yourself in check. But how much time you dedicate to church, how much you dedicate to prayer, how much you dedicate to family, how much you dedicate to your personal well-being. And pretty soon that pie chart is filled up, and everybody's pie chart is completely filled up. But that's when we look inside. So I look inside me and I see where my life is divided, right? But if I turn my eyeballs out and up, all of a sudden I don't see the pie. I can't see the pie. I'm looking outside. And if I keep my gaze on God, and then I see all the other people going by me, kind of like uh, little blood, little blood play like red blood cells. They're just floating by. Are the blood cells looking in and seeing their organelles? Do they see their well, they don't have mitochondria, so let's go with something else. Lymph. Does lymph see its um, mitochondria in there in the different cells? Do they see the organelles? No, they don't see a lysome or any of that stuff. They always out, hey, I'm looking out, I'm looking out. They're not inward focused. So we have to be careful because we have the ability to have that duality. God made us so complex. We can focus on being a good father, a good husband, a good worker, faithful to our church, devoted to God. But really, we need to look outside, and that disappears. We can't see those slices. We are dead to ourselves that way, and we're focused outside. So it's kind of an interesting thing to take that thought process and invert it and find out my focus isn't on me anymore. It's on all the other people around me. It's on Natalie. It's on Susan. It's on Holly. It's on Kip. It's on Carrie. It's on Adam. It's on all these different people out there. And that's when I'm sure I'm not going to be in depression or be in anxiety. That's when I know I've got a better handle on things, focusing on other people. So that's something we talked about yesterday. Just a little hubby wife discussion in the morning, sitting around thinking about what could we talk about today that has meaning. It's a challenge when you get retired. They never told me it'd be like that. Yeah, any better balance in your life? We all do. There's not a one of us who can sit and say, I'm totally balanced all the time. The only time you'll be like that is when you're, you know, buried. Body's too complex. Hey, one topic I wish I'd hear Dr. Chafee or Dr. Barry or any one of Dr. Baker. I would love to hear them talk about it because I would love to talk about it, and I'd love to listen to a discussion on the lymphatic system. And I'm thinking about Holly when I say that. The reason is I'm just thinking that when you consider the lymphatic system and what it means to understand what's going on there, I think that a lot of carnivores would benefit from that conversation, particularly those who have a lot of edema and stuff like that. Not that edema and lymphatic system are 100% linked, but they're very, very close. How when you eat dietary fat, that dietary fat is absorbed through the villi in your small intestines through the, if this was one villi, the villi has a tube at the center, like a superhighway comparatively, that is for bringing in lipids, and it goes to a process to go across the epithelium and then into the body. But everywhere, everything around the side of the villi, all that is a little network of capillaries to pull in nutrients. And then the the fat that had been pulled into the villi, it travels up and into little cisterns, and those cisterns go into larger vessels until it all comes into your portal vein. That's where all the fat from your diet pours into, and then goes into your liver, and then gets distributed through your body. But your dietary fat first travels through the lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system is in a very vast system of very weak vessels. And since you don't have a heart for your lymphatic system, you have to move, and that's why movement is so important, right? Yep. Well, exactly now. And here's the dealio. Yeah, two large lymph. So you know probably then about lymphatic massage. And um, Kathy or Catherine Bates, the actress, she was the spokesperson for um, the condition. I'm trying to remember it, like where it talks about lymph being trapped after like a mastectomy, and they take out the nodes, your lymph nodes here. Well, now all the lymph in your arm doesn't really have a great path to get back in and mixed around. And so problematic is those arms, people's arms there will normally the side that the mastectomy was on, unless it's a radical both sides, um, those arms they get so full, they get real heavy and they get really stiff and they're really painful. So yeah, you have to do that lymphatic massage, and lymphatic massage is not, shiatsu, whatever, that deep massage. You can't even barely dent the skin. It's like you just have to gently and know to rub it and to use gravity, and that's why exercise is important. I don't tell you that, but you've got to get that lymphatic system pumping and get the lymph to move. It's critically important. It does, Susan. It really does. But the solution, as in most things, there's no panacea. You know, it's so complex and so dynamic that it really does require us to understand at a deeper level the whys. And I think too many doctors have taken us to be too illiterate and incapable of to understand. Now they probably are right for it, but there's a lot that we can learn on our own. Yeah, you're in your neck and thankfully not painful. And yes, I do need to do more. And that exercise, like we said, using bands. We talked about using bands because what happens is when your muscles flex and they tighten up, that works. I got to use this arm. That uses looks like a natural. You can see it when you're a little, even when you're doing a little bit like this, right? Just closing your arms, right? Your muscles are moving, right? And that's causing the lymphatic system to move lymph up and continue to move it up and all the way through your body till it gets to that cistern or Chyli, I believe is how it's pronounced, spelled. Yep. Yeah, I hated the meds. What most people don't know is most meds for mental slash psychological needs, they actually impact your gut biome. And it's your gut biome that has to be impacted by these meds that will then help you out. A lot of people don't know about that. And that's why most of those medicines make your stomach feel bad. Yeah. Well, if you don't have lymphatic issue, that's great. But if you have edema, right? If you have swelling in your ankles, like I know I do, then you've got something to be dealt with. you know how doctors are. They'll tell you here's the range for your blood markers, right? Like let's say it's cholesterol, right? Or triglycerides. They'll tell you they want to put you on a statin when you're over 400 or something, right? And a couple other things, but they're not really medically concerned unless it's like over 3,000. I mean, that's how it is with these blood tests. So it's a whole bunch of things you have to kind of like spinning plates. Remember that at the fair where they spin plates? Gotta look at all the plates. You gotta get them all right. You need to have the right ratio of protein so that when you get your branched chain amino acids along with your essential amino acids, you have to take it. If you took 5 grams of every one of them, it doesn't mean a hill of beans because some you don't want a lot of, and some you have to have in the right ratio to the others. That's why I think carnivore works. Eat the animal. It has it right. Yeah. Oh, 424 keto. Yep. There you go. Well, now you're getting there. Um, yeah, but those meds, when I had to take them, they made me want to throw up all the time, and I was like, I'm not doing it. So I talked to my dad. He was been in the army, and through the stuff, and he just said, stop thinking about it, park it away, and don't deal with it. Like, okay, Dad, and it kind of worked. Worked for me. I don't have to take the meds. Yeah, swollen legs and ankles. Yep. So getting them up over your heart to drain, and then if you can get like you know, taking a bath towel and wrap it around a clean toilet brush, so you can reach in, just gently rub your legs in a nice stroking manner that'll help the lymph to move and move back up the lymph vessels. Yeah, it works. Um, but yeah, understanding the lymphatic system is really important. Understanding your gut biome. And did you know that you have another little brain in your belly? 5'9", 274. Okay, I'm hoping to be 6'5" and 274 soon. Yeah, dry brushing, exactly. Um, yeah, I just misplaced my thought. That's not a side effect of a carnivore. I'm just got my head going in too many places. That's really good work, and you're right about that, Natalie. I mean, that's what I was trying to talk about today in my video. Is we need to champion one another. Yep. Um, but yeah, learning about your lymphatic system, learning about how your body works, what you can do for your body, probably would do us all a heap of good. And that's all we can do. And then we can't rest on our laurels, right? I mean, even when we get to our goal weight, maybe now it becomes a different set of goals, right? Like maybe it's performance goals. Like I don't know, Susan, what are you trying to get down to? 225 maybe? That's your next big goal, 225? But do you have movement goals like I want to be able to walk a half a mile nonstop? Yeah. And what about you, Natalie? Do you have some performance goals like things you want to be able to do that you're not able to do now? That's right. You're never going to be alone again. That's for sure. Not with all of us around here. None of us will be. And I think that's again another wonderful thing about what the internet does and having the videos. I mean, chatting is good, but having at least a person to talk to helps. I think a 170 to 180, that'd be fantastic. Because the 5'9" puts you pretty on the tall side. So yeah, that'd be a fantastic way. But again, taking your time. I mean, when we were talking about Sean before, right? He lost 245 pounds. Whew, that's a whole pack up. That's like the whole Backstreet Boys band. So that's a lot of weight, but it took a lot of freedom that comes with that. So it just takes time. We would listen to Lawnmower, and He's been working it. He's been chipping down and chipping down and chipping down. And so I think that for each of us, that's great. You're not over, yeah. Tummy, fat, too lethargy, like more than 9 minutes. Right. Well, there's again, that's a great thing about the carnivore diet is there's not just a two-part um, fix that it's only effective for weight loss. It's effective for so many more things. And then I could imagine then there are strength goals and performance goals, things you'd like to be able to do to go hiking and biking and not be as tired. I mean, I think that's pretty cool stuff, you know what I mean? I see a lot of people now who are over the age of 50 or so just doing incredible endurance things. So it's a good thing. Who knows? We might be able to inspire someone like Holly and like Bill. And as I was saying before, when we were doing the lawnmower chat, there are more Bills out there in the world. There are more Hollies. And the more Bills and the more Hollies that we can show that they don't have to do that crazy stuff about uh, Biggest Loser. We don't have to mess with your metabolism. We're going to return you back to your natural state of health. But I suspect there are many, many hundreds, if not thousands of Bills and Hollies and Scotts, right? Um, Susans. There are thousands of us all over the United States. And one of them's going to stumble across a story that's going to really ignite a spark in them. And then Katie bar the door. Yep. Walking a distance on a cane. I used to tap every balance. Yeah. Hey, what it is, and as you get further along in your weight loss, and you have to deal with different and new things, how the weight is distributed and stuff like that. You still have to be very careful. But there are some exercises that you can do, proprioceptive exercises that you can do that will really, really help with your balance. And when you get to that point, I'll tell you a couple, and you can practice them, and you'll be like, "Well, that's kind of amazing." You could do it now, where you stand up and just kind of put your put one hand on a chair, and you have your legs side by side. Then what you'll do is you pick up one foot, and then take your hand off the chair for a little bit. Just pick that foot up a little bit. Put it out in front of you. Just put that foot up a little bit. You have to tap down, tap down. Hold it. You got to tap down, tap down. Head straight, lungs breathing naturally. Air right there, and then switch legs. And do that a few times a day. As you get better and better, you'll be able to do it without the chair. And then you'll be able to do it holding like a can of soup or doing it with a band or with a proper weight. We went through that last night. A little 2 pound weight in your hand, and you do a curl, but do your curls on one foot with your knee a little bit bent, the other toe out there ready to balance, and your balance will increase and your strength will increase because your body, the proprioceptive means your body knows where it is. And when you pick your one foot up off the ground, it lost that point of contact, and you start doing a curl, it will recruit more muscle fibers to do the exercise, and your balance will improve. That was a problem. Yep, a diet. We have heard it from bodybuilders for years, and weight coaches that are good, and from world-class athletes. The medals are all won at the kitchen table. That's where they're won. All the medals are at the kitchen table. 80-90% of victory is at the table. Sure is. You used to have a wheelchair, yep. Well, you're getting there then. You have to remember non-scale victory. I'm sure. Do you still have your wheelchair available? Well, maybe Holly will need it eventually, but yeah, you'll get there. Yeah, just go slow. Yep, you got that. You've done a lot of things. But yeah, that's the way to go. That proprioceptive training is really some interesting stuff where they use science, not somebody just sweating in the gym. There's another guy. I don't know if you guys, gals, you know what I mean, um, have gone out to see Robert Bubba Baker. Have you? I may have asked this before, but I want to make sure. I think I saw one of you may have commented on his video. But Robert Bubba Baker, he's a gentleman in my age group, maybe a little older, yeah. And he he's a stoic, and yeah, he is lovely, isn't he though? And I love his videos. His videos are getting better. The technology, but he went back into the gym this week, and he used to be quite the power lifter from what he says. And he's a good egg. I really like him. I think he's up there in Canada. Canada? I'm gonna go with Canada. Yeah, yeah. There are so many. There are so many. It's hard to keep up. I have my hearing aids. Um, Hearing aids are obviously not in my ears at the moment, but my hearing aids connect directly to my phone, and he's by an ocean, so he's either in British Columbia or Quebec, Nova Scotia. I'm gonna go with British Columbia. Um, and it could be in one of the northern territories. Yeah, yeah, Bob and Brad. But isn't one of them no longer with the show because he came down with like a ALS or something like that? Yeah, yeah. I like them. They're always a hoot. The most famous physical therapists on the internet. Well, maybe not. Yeah, they're funny. Good guy. They a lot of great information. A lot of great information. But yeah, I tell you, watching Bubba do his videos and his commentary, and now he's getting the exercise, and now he's gonna make me. Bob is writing now. Okay, all right, good. Behind the scenes. Oh yeah, I know they're great. If you just go out to the Googly or whatever you use for a search engine and type in those two names in there and physical therapist, Bob and Brad. One's really tall, lanky, Ichabod Crane type of guy, and I think he's the one now who's Bob. He's the one who's had the difficulty. And there's a shorter. I want to say he's like Jack LaLanne. Jack LaLanne. I'm sure y'all might have known them. Yeah, they were a hoot. Dry humor, dry, but quality information. I like them a lot. Yeah, catered to older people. I know what you mean there. I got my little senior badge coming in the mail. Speaking of my senior badge in the mail, we're gonna come up here to an hour and it's getting late. So I think I'm gonna stick a fork in this and call it a night. The after party. And I'm gonna have to, like I said, I'm gonna have to go learn how to use StreamYard. If I get StreamYard up, will one of you join up? What do I listen to? Contemporary Christian music, pretty much. I used to sing in our church choir, but COVID kind of killed that. I was in the joyful noise section, and you could probably tell I'm not a tenor. Right. We all probably could use some sleep. But I listen to a lot of contemporary Christian music. Yeah. Um, we got the chance, our church, we got invited and we sang with Stephen Curtis Chapman in Nashville about 5 years ago. So the wife and I, we went up to Nashville and we sang backup for uh, Mr. Chapman at the Dove Awards. Yeah. Oh, okay, Natalie. Well, hey, we'll figure it out. Eventually, one day, one man will find out how to figure out to work this magic, the incredible technology, but not today. All right, you all take care. I appreciate you all jumping in here. And again, we're going to be praying for everybody that we need to be praying for. In particular, we're going to be praying for Holly. We're going to pray for your granddaughter too, because Bethany could use those prayers as well. I mean, it's going to be hard on the granddaughter, just as it's hard on you too. So, yeah, we'll definitely continue to lift them up in prayer and you up in prayer. And I tell you what, in this community, I think that's going to work wonders for each and every one of us. All right. Well, you all take care. Make sure, like I like to say in my other one, do what you can to get your hearts prepared. I don't know why I had to say it twice. To be prepared for Sunday. Get things out of the way. Like do your bedside church or go watch whatever show you want to watch and kind of get your heart ready for that moment where you can really cry out to God and repentant and all that. All right. Hey, y'all take care. God bless. Bye bye.